Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Happy Mental Health Monday. Happy Monday. Good morning. Welcome back, you guys, for another week and another day and another month so we can continue talking of how to take care of our mental health. Welcome back. I want to take a little time to thank all of you guys for always watching my videos, the one who's always liking, the one who's always commenting, the one who's always sharing. Thank you so much. Without you, I will not be able to continue, because sometimes it's hard working when you don't see so many people watching your video. But I am so grateful for whoever always reach out to me and say keep going, whoever always encourage me to continue with this video. And I also want to thank all of we have 166 subscribers. Yes, I am so happy for that. We have 166 people who subscribes to this channel. Thank you so much for all of you guys. I celebrate every one of you guys. Thank you so much. So you know how I do it. If this is the first time you get to my channel, go get a chair, go get your family, go get your friends, go get your children, gather them, gather everyone so you can learn something new today, so you can continue taking care of your mental health. But before I start with the subject that I have for today, I am so excited to talk about this subject for today. Too bad I am not going to do it so long, because this subject is so big and so deep and so beautiful. I might touch the subject again, but remember this month for our series is coping skills. So I want to bring this subject because this subject can be a healthy coping skills, and it also can be a unhealthy coping skills. It can be a safe coping skills. It also can be a unsafe coping skills. So that's why I want to bring this subject. But one day I will talk about this subject again in a more detail, because this subject is so big. I am so excited. When I thought of I want to come with this subject today, I am so excited to bring this subject to you guys. Well, before I start with our topic for today, I always stop right here in our video so we can talk about the things, the techniques, the skills, the stuff, what you do last week to take care of your mental health. So I always ask you guys this question. What did you do last week to take care of your mental health? What did you do? While you thinking of something that you did last week to take care of your mental health, I want to share to you guys what I did last week to take care of my mental health. For those of you who doesn't know me and this is the first time you're listening to me, I'm someone who work out a lot. And normally I work out Monday through Friday. So I've been working out since all my life. But I wanted to say, not even last week, the week before, for some reason, I have no motivation to work out. On Wednesday showed up, I couldn't get up. I stay in bed. I normally work out at 8 a.m. So I normally wake up at 7 a.m. so I can get to the gym at 8 a.m. On Thursday showed up, couldn't get up. No motivation, stay in bed. Friday showed up, couldn't get up, no motivation, stay in bed. Weekend, I normally take times off. Saturday and Sunday, I normally take times off. Monday showed up, couldn't wake up, no motivation, stay in bed. I was like, no, that's it. So I call Mrs. Discipline. For those of you who doesn't know what discipline is, discipline, it's when you do something that you have to do, but there is no motivation for it. It's that you do it because you have to do it. So Monday night, I make sure I go to bed the same time I normally go to, which is 11 p.m. I go to bed at 11 p.m. and I think I went to bed at 11 p.m. I think I finally fall asleep maybe 12 midnight or something. Fall asleep right away. I wake up twice in the middle of the night to go pee, and I didn't go back to bed until like a good 30 minutes after. I wake up close to 7 a.m. Like it did not went well like I normally do. But what I make myself do, it's making sure that Tuesday I was at the gym at 8 a.m. I was super tired, no motivation, but I was there. And then this once I did that, discipline showed up for me. Discipline showed up for me on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I was able to keep going. I didn't have the motivation to go, but I had the discipline to go. So that's what I did last week to take care of my mental health. What about you guys? What did you do last week to take care of your mental health? So while I have you guys thinking, I'm going to continue with our topic for today. So our topic for today is boundary. I told you I couldn't wait to tell you. I was like waiting. I was so excited to say it. So our topic for today is boundary, is healthy boundary, lack of boundary. We're going to talk about boundary. I'm going to keep this video very short because I always do. Maybe another time I will focus a little bit more on boundary, but in this video we're just going to talk about what it is, how does it look like, different style, why you don't have it, what's going on. I am not going to sit there and talk about it in details because boundary is big and a lot of us do not have it. So to define boundary, what does boundary mean? There's quite a few different definitions of boundary, but I like this one. Boundary means knowing what one wants and expect from the people in their life and what they will accept from those people that's in their life. So I'll say it again. Boundary is knowing what you want and expect from people that's in your life, and then what would you accept from people that is in your life. So boundary, it's when you are able to know what you want, you know what you need, and you are able to communicate that to people, as well as you know what you want from other people, what you need from other people, what would you expect from them, what would you accept from them. So boundary, it's really big because with boundary, you have to have self-awareness. You have to have a sense of who you are, what you want. You have to know what your needs are. You have to know when your needs are met, when your need is not met. You have to have communication. You have to have emotional intelligence to know what's going on. Healthy boundaries are the ultimate guide to successful relationship. And it doesn't matter what relationship. It can be a relationship with your partner. It can be a relationship with your children. Relationship, period. Lack of boundaries will lead to feeling of disappointment, feeling of resentment, feeling of anxiety, overcommitted, emotional distress. Also can increase stress in your life. There is boundary in so many areas. There's so many areas in our life that we need to put boundaries in. And sometimes we have boundaries in a certain area, but some other area we do not have boundaries on. So here's a list of different places that you need to set boundary. You need to set boundary with your time. You need to set boundary with yourself. You need to set boundary with your emotion. You need to set boundaries spiritually. You need to set boundaries socially. You need to set boundary in your relationship. You need to set boundary with nutrition. You need to set boundary with people that you are in a relationship with. You need to set boundary at work. You need to set boundaries sexually. You need to set boundary intellectually. You need to set boundary with things that you have, so material stuff. You need to set boundary digital technology. So there is so many different areas in our life that we need to set boundary of. So let me give you an example. What is a sexual boundary? Do you know there's a lot of individuals that cannot communicate to their significant other what they want sexually? They cannot say, I see you done that, but I don't like it. Let's try this. Or I like this. Can you touch me like this? There's a lot of people in the clinic that I work with. A lot of people is communicate to me. They're having a hard time to tell their partner, I need you to wear a condom. I do not want to put myself in birth control, but I need you to wear a condom. There's a lot of kids that are born because someone could not communicate to their partner that I do not want to have more children. We need to set boundaries sexually. Material-wise, we need to set boundary. Decided who you want to come to your home. It's a boundary setting. Deciding who you want to get into your car is a boundary setting. Deciding who you want to share your resources with is a boundary setting. Sometimes we do not have the words for that. Another example of boundary setting, it's with your finance. If you notice you are struggling to save money, you notice you are struggling to budgeting, you notice you are struggling, like if you say, I want to only spend $200, or I want to spend $60 when I go to this restaurant, and then you notice you spending $100, that is lack of boundary, my friend. So that is financial boundaries. So boundaries, it's in a lot of different places, and a lot of us is coping with very bad boundaries. So there's different style of boundaries. There's 3 different style of boundaries. There's one of them that called porous. This one I always say it's the open boundary. It's like everyone can come in. So imagine like your house doesn't have a front door. Everybody can come in. That is the porous boundary. And an example of that, you can see someone who you just met, and that person just telling you everything about their life, like anything and everything, things that you didn't even want to know. That person is already communicating to you. So that individual have porous boundaries. The other style of boundaries is rigid, and that one I always say it's closed. So imagine your house, not only there is a door, there's lock in that door, and there is like, the hurricane things you put, like you very lock. And an example of that rigid boundary, it's someone you might know that person for years, and you don't know much about that person. That person do not trust a lot of people. That person do not communicate a lot of things. That person can avoid you instead of giving you a clear boundaries. And then of course we have the healthy boundaries. The healthy boundary is, again, imagine your house. There is a door in my house. There is a lock in my house. There is a peephole for me to see who showed up in my house. When someone knock, I look to the door and see who that is. And if I want to let that person in, I let that person in. If I do not want to let that person in, I leave that person in front. Or either yet, I can actually communicate with that person and say, I see you came to my house. However, I am not in the right space right now to have visitors. I am not in the right space right now to have visitors. Can you come back another time? So you have the voice to communicate what you want, and you communicate what you expect of that person. That's how we set boundaries. Now, why is it a lot of people struggle setting boundaries? There's quite a few reasons why people struggle to set boundaries. This video, it's not the video I'm going to be teaching you how to set boundaries. Again, maybe I'll spend a whole month talking about boundaries one day, because boundaries is big. But I want to talk about it in this month to show you guys some coping skills, some healthy coping skills. So the reason sometimes people struggle to set up healthy boundaries are low self-esteem issues, people pleasing, they're afraid that people can judge them, they never taught, nobody ever teach them how to set boundaries. They don't want people to be upset with them. They don't know how to communicate. So poor communication. They don't know what to say. Sometimes they're afraid that someone can stop their joy. Sometimes they feel guilty to set that boundary. You have a hard time saying no. You are in denial. You never stood up for yourself. You don't know your needs. So you don't know when your needs are met. You don't know what you want. You don't know what you need. You are very undecisive about things that you care about. And like I say, sometimes it's not been taught. For example, or sometimes it's been taught to cross over your boundaries. And sometimes those boundaries that I mentioned, the open and closed boundary, some area we have open boundaries, some area we have closed boundary, and in some area we have healthy boundaries. For example, at work, you might have very open boundaries. So if your boss tell you to stay overnight or to continue working longer hour than you want to, then you might not be able to have any voice to set that boundary with your boss. Or if your boss talking about something that you don't want to talk about, something that you feel that's very personal, you might not be able to have the language to say, you know what, I prefer, when I'm at work, I prefer to keep it professional. So let's change this subject to something that's related to work. You do not have the voice for that. And then there's certain area that you have too much voice for it, right? So certain area we have the porous boundary, and certain area we have the rigid boundary. Porous, I always see it as in the open boundary. That's the house that doesn't have a door. And then the rigid boundary is the house that have a door, that's locked, that's, like it's like prison. Okay, so this is where I'm going to end our video. I know it was a very short video, but like I say, I do not want to wallow on boundary because I think a lot of us doesn't have boundaries. And when I try to set up boundary with other people, a lot of people get upset at me. A lot of people think I'm a snob when I set boundary with them. A lot of people think I'm a snob when I talk boundary with them. Like I have people in my life that's inviting me up certain places, and I'm like, you know what? Based on my budget for this month, I'm unable to go out with you this month. How about next month? And sometimes they're like, are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. But guess what? They never invited me anymore because they felt like because I set up a boundary with them, they're having a hard time. So a lot of us struggle with boundary setting. A lot of us do not have boundary. A lot of us have rigid boundary because either we do not trust anybody to come in or we trust too many people to come in. So what I'm asking you to do is to do healthy boundary. So healthy boundary look like I mentioned, like I give you the example, a house that does have a door, the house have a lock, the house have a hole for you to look. I forgot the word of that hole. Pit something for you to look. And maybe you have camera in the house. So when someone knock in the door, you can look to see who that person is. And then you have the voice to say, do I want to see that person at this time right now? No, I don't. And then you can actually communicate that to that person. Oh, I'm so sorry that you make the drive to come all the way to my house, but at this moment, I am not in the right mood to have visitors. Can we set up another time? while we have the voice. There's people that's dying. There's people, I see a lot of people that's saying like, yeah, my mom come every day, all the time at my house, and I don't know how to tell her not to show up. Or someone call me anytime, any day throughout the days, like even when I'm sleeping, they're calling me, and I don't have the voice to let them know you cannot call me at this time. Or what we end up doing is we don't pick up that person call at all. We never set that boundary with that person. We never let that person know what we want from them. Some people will hide from people. Some people will never pick up any numbers anymore because we have a hard time to set boundaries with other people. I'm going to stop our video right here. We always end our video with a dose of self-care, so I'm going to read our dose of self-care for this morning. Our dose of self-care say, never forget how powerful you are inside and out. I think it's very explanatory, so never forget how powerful you are inside and out. I hope you guys have a great Monday. I hope you guys have a great week. I'm reminding you to continue doing something this week to take care of your mental health. Thank you so much for all of you guys that listen to this video talking about boundary. Have a great Monday, everyone. Bye-bye.